Hello and welcome to Epic Blocks. Last time we built ourselves a chicken farm, and today I'm going to see if I can make it a little bit better. I've moved my chickens, and I do have a few more of them now. And I left just a little bit of the previous farm. So we see we got our double chest. We did not collect much in the way of chicken and feathers last time. And I've got a hopper over here, and a half slab. Unfortunately, while the rest of this farm is very similar to what we built last time, can't really just build on top of it. So I did clear off most of the farm, and we're going to go ahead and build it again, but now with these materials. Notice that I've got some cauldrons, some sticky pistons, and of course lava for each of the cauldrons. Also, you might see this sand block here, and we're going to use a piston to create a monostable circuit. I showed that in my follow-up cow farm video. We're going to do that again here. Let's go ahead and grab these. Of course, I've still got my pickaxe with Silk Touch. And we do have quite a few seeds, so we can leave these chickens around and breed some more if we like. Because this farm, while I do have more chickens than I did last time, this farm will hold significantly more. So again, we would start off with the hopper and double chest on the ground, and half slab on top. But I'm also going to add another hopper on this side, and one more on this side. And we're going to cover these up with half slabs as well. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Pickaxe real quick. There we go. And because I showed the full materials over here, but already had a few things set up, we're not going to need that. We're not going to need the double chest. And I had one hopper already in place. So that part I pre-built, so I'm going to pull them out now. And I'm also going to add another hopper on top of the chest, leading straight into it. And one more here. And one more here. There we go. So those are all pointing into this hopper, going into the chest. And of course the extra hopper down here and down here are pointing into this hopper, which is of course going into the chest. Now let me grab some of my solid blocks here. And you could do this with glass. But I thought if we were going to use any solid blocks, this is where I would want them. I'm mostly going to use glass for the rest of the farm, except where we absolutely need the solid blocks. And we're going to put our dispenser here. So it is now one block higher than it used to be. And we're going to add our my cauldron on top there. And I'm going to put in a temporary block behind it. And a solid block behind that. Let me go ahead and grab this block now. And this is where we want our sticky piston, looking at the cauldron. Oops, not sure what happened with my button there. Got kind of sticky, I guess. Oops, I actually didn't need to break that one. That was where I wanted it and looking the right direction. So let's go ahead and put that one back. Add another one here. And then, of course, I'll place the last two cauldrons in front of those sticky pistons. And place the rest of my solid blocks behind those, and one right here. And while I'm up here, let me go ahead and fill these up with lava. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and cover those over with glass. Also going to put glass on the side down here at the bottom, on both sides. So last time we didn't need this block on the side. This time we are going to need it. Okay. And 3 more blocks of glass here. Alright, so our dispenser, of course, is going to fire the eggs. The eggs are going to break against this cauldron that happens to have lava in it. And the chickens will gather in the bottom. And now they have 3 blocks of space. And because of that, they're going to wander around. That's why we need those glass blocks on the bottom. So that they don't sneak out, because if we left that glass block missing and with the hopper on the bottom, the baby chickens would be able to squeeze out as this fills up, and we certainly don't want that. And now for the last 3 hoppers, these are going to go into the dispenser, and of course one on this side, and one on this side. And I'll go ahead and grab these real quick, just going to use them as temporary blocks. Could use the sand as well, but this way I don't have to come back and grab it as soon. last block there. One there. One there. Move along this way, of course. And I'm going to go ahead and put in another temporary block here, just so I can put another piece of glass here. And then we're going to go up one more level. And of course we don't need these temporary blocks anymore. They're going to fall into the hoppers. Let's grab trap doors. And I'm going to put them across the back here, though it doesn't really matter which side you put them on. We just have these here because they give us the option to close this off to make sure that nothing accidentally wanders into our chicken space. And of course our adult chickens are going to sit up here, laying eggs, and of course with this being 3 wide, we can hold 3 times as many chickens up here. And of course this is tileable. If you wanted, you could add additional blocks to the side, like here at the top and at the bottom, on both sides, make it as wide as you want. But of course we would need additional hoppers at the top, as well as trapdoors. And we'd need additional sticky pistons with cauldrons full of lava. Here you can see we have our way up, all set. So let's go ahead and grab my seeds, and we're going to lead our chickens up. They've laid a few eggs, so I'm just going to come in and grab those. They've laid quite a few eggs. And as I come around back here, they should start wandering in. I think I'm going to need one more solid block back here again, like I did last time, to help coax them into position. Let's come back down and gather them up again. And as I step back here, they should wander right on in. Just going to grab these last few chickens. These eggs. Not actually sure how many chickens I have this time. I wasn't keeping track, unfortunately. But it looks like I've got 5 here outside still, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Looks like about 9 adult chickens on the inside and at least 1 baby. There we go. And let's just go ahead and start feeding them. Looks like I got some chickens that wandered into my villager breeder. I'll go ahead and grab them as well. There we go, and that's the last 3 in. Let's just go ahead and see if I can feed any more real quick. Oops, didn't mean to grab that hopper. I think that's going to do it. Let's go ahead and close these. And again, with the 3 blocks wide, before we were limited to 24 chickens up here. I think I only ever had about 6 that were adults and laying eggs. But here we could have 3 times that many, so that would be 72 adult chickens. And of course, that would get us quite a few eggs. And we've probably got a few down here already. Don't need those, of course. And let's add these in. And I think I left a few more over here as well. Yeah. Some more eggs that I had picked up before I started recording. And let's dump those in as well. And now we're going to go ahead and set up our short little timer circuit. Because the dispenser is up one higher, we could build it slightly higher, but I'm actually just going to go ahead and get another. No, use redstone. That should trigger the dispenser. Let's test it real quick. Yeah, I heard an egg get launched. So 16, 16, and 13. And now we're down to 16, 16, and 12. And of course over here we're going to add piston pointing up. And put our boat on top so that it's over the pressure plate and the piston. So those are going to fire off, and as you can see, we've already got a couple of chickens in there. If we leave the dispenser lower, the dispenser is going to be firing those eggs, and it will hit the chickens because they're wandering around. When they don't wander around and they stand directly in front of the dispenser, they're fine. But once they start moving, they are fair game, and we don't really want to hit them. So yeah, we move our dispenser up by 1. The chickens still hatch, they drop down. And let's go ahead and use these glass blocks here to wall our timer in. There we go. No, nothing's going to wander in there. Oh, close this off. And go ahead and just an alternative method for powering this off. We'll put the lever down here. I don't think the power would go through the wool, so I had to remove that block. But yeah, we just dig a hole there, place the lever. That covers that. Let's see, I've got 4 more glass blocks. I think I put them here, but I don't think we actually need them. So I'm going to set those up there. Alright, now we have the first part of our farm fully automatic and running. Flip that lever, and of course we're going to be firing any eggs that get laid. But we still need a method of killing the baby chickens when they grow up. And if we place the cauldrons directly over top of the chickens, so we could have put the dispenser down here. Some of the chickens take damage. We might lose a couple, but it would still mostly work. But if we laid the cauldrons of lava directly over the chickens, some of the adults would grow up, and they grow up in this little space between the chickens. So what we want to do is to kill the adults by moving the lava cauldrons over top of them and pulling them back. So yes, we could place the cauldrons over top, but it's not going to kill all of the adults. And then, of course, we start losing some to entity cramming as opposed to the adults growing up and just dying. So we're going to use these sticky pistons to push the cauldrons over top. That will kill all of the adults. And then, of course, the sticky pistons will pull them back. To make sure that we pull them over as quickly as possible, we're going to want a monostable circuit. I thought I had a few more redstone on this first chest, but I think they got moved to the other one. But that's all right. We should still have enough. So we're going to put redstone up here. So here, we'll come back to the rest of that in a moment. Go. Going to want a repeater there on the second tick. If it's on the first tick, it's not really long enough for the sticky pistons to push the cauldrons and pull them back. Sometimes the cauldrons get left behind, which the whole point of doing this is to pull them back out of the way. So we do want that on the second tick. And we're going to dig down here and place our piston pointing up with our sand on top. And we're going to have redstone here. Now, I grabbed another pressure plate here just so that we can kind of test this. So I'm going to put it here to the side so we can see it a little better. When I step on this pressure plate, oh, something's not working. Oh, I know why. I have to go that way. This one can come to the side. Yeah, but sorry. I'm going to grab a little bit more redstone here so we can see what's going on. There we go. And let's put this here. Now when I step on this, you can see that the cauldrons very quickly push, the pistons very quickly push the cauldrons over and pull them back. Do that again. Takes that sand a moment to fall, but that's okay. That's how the monostable circuit works. When the power comes here, it's going to power the piston, which is going to push the sand up. The power goes through the sand into the repeater, but once the sand goes up, it breaks that circuit. So we just get a brief flash. Again, we do need the second tick delay to make sure that it's long enough for the sticky pistons to work properly, and they get pulled back. But of course, this is not automatic. So let's go ahead and grab these redstone again. And we want another clock over here that will automatically trigger this. But of course, we want a much longer clock than this one. This one will trigger... Turn it on again, because I bet there's several eggs in there now. This is firing an egg, roughly every second or so. I don't know the exact time. We're not going to need that pressure plate, actually, so let's put it back here. And get rid of our extras. We'll hold on to the pickaxe, because we may want that still. So we want a timer that's going to trigger this, but not too often. The more often this goes, the more likely it's going to cause issues. If an egg happens to fire at the moment that the pistons are extended with the cauldrons right in front of the dispenser, that's going to cause some issues. Also, chickens do like to jump around every once in a while, so our baby chickens could jump into the bottom of a lava cauldron. So the less time the cauldron spins over here, the better. So how long do we want our timer to be? A minute should be fine. I'm thinking more like I want 2 to 5 minutes probably. Don't want any longer than that. If it's more than 5 minutes, then we're running into a higher probability of enough adults gathering that we're going to get some entity cramming. Now, if it's less than 5 minutes, because it takes the adults 5 to 10 minutes to lay an egg, we shouldn't really have any eggs being dropped in this side from the adults. They shouldn't live long enough for that, but it is possible. And also, because of the cauldrons being pulled back, sometimes their drops get pulled this way, which is why we have hoppers here, as well as down there. And so, of course, nothing down here yet except for what we had last time. But we may get some chickens growing up and laying eggs before we finish our timer. And this timer is going to take up quite a bit more space. And so, just kind of curious here, which way am I facing? I built this at a test world facing north, and here I am facing north again. So that may be significant. I haven't done enough testing to find out yet. But let me go ahead. I'm going to break these fences, so bear with me for a moment. All right, so I got rid of those fences and the gate. I'm also going to clear out some of these torches. Don't need them right now because my daylight cycle is turned off and the sun is up. The timer I'm going to use here is on the large side, and we do want it to stay completely in our spawn chunks. I'm going to get rid of this torch as well, and I think I'll actually wind up moving these chests. Oh no, I'll just go around them. I am going to work right here on this side. One more here. And I do want to go one more here, I think. This is going to get a little bit in the way of my villager breeder. I'm going to have to fill this row in here. Now, alternatively, if you've got stuff in the way, you could put this clock down lower. We are going to wind up covering most of it up anyway. Yeah, pretty much all of it. So that is an option, but it is 14 blocks wide, and it's going to be 11 blocks long. Oh, let's just have a few of these blocks here, because we are going to want to block that in. Alright, and now we're going to clear out a significant portion of this, making a box with a few exceptions. So this first section is going to be 3 wide. There we go, so we've got 3 wide and 14 long. And I come back here, we're going to make this line 3 wide as well. There we go. And 3 wide over here, all the way down, so it's a full 14 blocks long, including the 3 we're standing over right now. Alright, there we go. And here in the middle, we're going to do 3 wide as well, all the way down. Alright, so that's the digging done. And if it helps to think of it, you can think of it as a capital E. If I come up a little bit here, you can kind of see that. So we've got one long line here, line there, and of course a line here. Alright, now that we've got that dug out, let me go ahead and drop off all these extra materials. Now you could use these solid blocks we just dug up to be the roof that we're going to need. I used a few here, otherwise we would have, should be the exact amount we need minus 1, I think. But anyway, I'm going to dump all this excess off here, so the fences and gates that were holding the chickens, the extra torches, and those solid blocks. Hold of these redstone because they were meant to be part of this part. And to build this timer, we're going to need 42 fence posts, 13 pressure plates, 1 boat, and 133 solid blocks or glass blocks for the roof. So again, we could use what we just dug out, but to see it, we're going to use the glass here. And we are going to need a significant amount of water. So let's go ahead and just create an infinite water source real quick. You could do 3x1 as opposed to 2x2 if you prefer. I like the 2x2 because then it doesn't matter which block I take the water from. And let's start filling in fence posts. So we're going to leave 1 gap and work our way almost all the way over. We're going to leave 1 gap there. Oops, got some more temporary blocks I didn't grab. So that's the wool and the dirt. They're already up here because there's no more space down there. I'll just leave them for now. Keep this fence post going. Once again, leave 1 space here. And we're going to work our way down. And here in the center, same thing. Leave 1 space on this edge. And this time the fence is going to go all the way over to connect with the line of fences. All right, now I think you can kind of see we have a path for our boat to follow. Go ahead and start with one pressure plate here in this corner, and we'll add some water. And I'm going to add another pressure plate. Let's see here. I think I only want this to go about 3 blocks. Let me hop up where I can take a better look at this. Start right there. Now we're going to put the next water source there. Perfect. And it's going to stop right in line with this last fence post. So that's exactly what we want. So when we put the boat in here, it of course is going to run this complete circuit. But anytime we have the water running the full 8 blocks, and then of course we have a pressure plate here, and I'm going to grab some more water. To turn this corner, it takes the boat about 30 seconds. So we're actually going to have 3 of these corners. So that's about 1.5 minutes on this timer right there. This full timer I've tested. It runs 2 minutes and about 59.5 seconds. So half a second short, less than half a second short actually, of 3 minutes. We certainly don't need it to be that precise, but I rather like that. Okay, so that's going to run off that way. And we're going to add another pressure plate. Let's see. I think I want it with the 4th fence post, if I remember correctly. And we're going to add some more water here. And we're going to add another pressure plate in line with this one. Oops, that's the boat. Oh. The exact placement of this one I don't think really matters. If you put it here or here and the water source on the other side, of course. This is still going to get to there. It might actually increase the length of the timer ever so slightly if you do move that pressure plate to one side or the other, simply because that's going to slow the boat. So if you put the pressure plate here, for example, the boat's going quicker when it hits the pressure plate, but it's going a little bit slower when it gets to this next one. I don't think it makes that big of a difference, though, when you're looking at these straight lines. So let's go ahead and add in this next bucket of water. And we're going to want to add in our next pressure plate. Again, we're in line here with the previous one. And our next water. And that should run straight down to the edge of the fence post. And we'll put a pressure plate there. And I'm actually going to go ahead, let's fill in the next few pressure plates. So we're going to want one here roughly in the middle. So that should be in line with the next one. So we'll have a water source here. You can see that water source. And then we're going to have a pressure plate here. And opposite that one there. One more in the corner. And then here, actually, we need this water to turn this corner in order for it to work properly. So we're going to place a pressure plate there. And we're going to count back 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we'll put a water source here and the pressure plate there. So I believe this one is going to be 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. We could put the pressure plate here instead, but just a little bit better. We want this boat to just barely be able to make this corner, but it does have to be able to make the corner and press forward this way in order for the boat to cross this pressure plate and still be close to the fence when it meets up with this water source block up here. So let's go ahead and grab a couple more water. And we're going to start filling in after each of the pressure plates we just placed. There we go. Alright, so that's our clock set up. All we have to do now is add a boat and figure out where we want the redstone signal coming out of. It really doesn't matter which pressure plate we use, but I think actually this one is the closest, but because our monostable circuit is set up this way, actually I could just go ahead and put this here. Dig out that block and place a redstone there. Don't even need that one anymore. Now we had enough redstone, we could dig out this block and run the redstone this way. I might have been 1 or 2 short, but this is quite easy. So anytime the boat comes running this way, it'll trigger the pressure plate. It will light up this redstone, that will trigger the piston, and power the sand ever so briefly, which will power this. So let's go ahead and add our boat. And I just like to come in on this side where I can line it up pretty straight. It doesn't really matter too much which way our boat is facing. Up on out. And this should make the corner, but for this first run, we might need to give it a little push. And again, because we're using the monostable circuit, it doesn't matter if we're using a pressure plate or the boat's there for a long time or if it's only there briefly. But yeah, you can see the boat started going. And we killed some adult chickens. And I think that's probably why I had a few more glass blocks here. I think they help keep the drops from falling out this way. So let me go ahead and put those there. And I'll put them over here as well. Yeah, so we lost a few things. Having solid blocks here might make that a little bit better, but the glass should work. Maybe put a couple up there as well. But let's go ahead and just use 4 glass. So I'm going to grab these again. Done with the buckets. And let's see how much went in here. So we had 1 feather and 2 cooked chicken. And now we're up to, so we got 4 feathers and 5 cooked chicken out of that. And we did have a chicken laying egg at some point in there. So let's just come back here and I'm going to put a temporary block here. That way nothing can jump up here, but we still have access to our dispenser. There we go. The only thing left now is to cover this over. And of course, we can start. Oh. I think that might be stuck. Let's give that a second. The first time round might cause some issues. I did say it should take 30 seconds here, but it does not look like it's moving at all, so we just hop in and give it a quick little bump. There it goes. Don't think we'll have any more issues with it. So I'm actually going to have 1 extra glass block because I was going to put it here where this chest is. But the chest is serving the same purpose. That piece of dirt down there, because I don't like to leave things lying around. Still some more chickens, it sounds like. And I don't see any drops hanging around, and we did get a couple more. Let's put in the ones that I picked up earlier. Anyway, so let's go ahead and just fill this all in. Alright. And again, yes, I do have that 1 glass block left over, because I had planned on putting that here. But the chest serves the same purpose, so I might as well go ahead and just leave that. Get rid of some extras, just because. But that is our more advanced chicken farm, completely set up and running. And with a 3-minute timer on the kill mechanism, we shouldn't really have any eggs collecting down here. But again, if we want eggs, all we have to do is come over here and click this off. And the eggs will collect in the dispenser. And if you leave it off long enough, they'll collect in the hoppers as well. We never need to turn this off. We can leave this running, especially in our spawn chunks like I have here. It will just continue to work no matter how far away we wander off. Good idea to keep an eye on this just in case your boat's having any issues. That's why I do like my glass ceiling here. That way, just in case something's not quite right, you can see what's going on and hop in and correct it. And of course here we can see what our chickens are up to. Shouldn't need to do any editing anywhere, but good to be able to see what's going on in case you need to jump in and make some modifications. Anyway, once again, this is the farm completely up and running. And thank you for watching. This is Epic Blocks.